Who doesn't love a good haunted house story? It's time to review Hell Night. Hell Night stars Linda Blair, Peter Barton, and is directed by Tom DeSimone. What's up, guys? It's time for a new Patreon requested review. This one is for Kevin Holman and Gabriel Lewis. What's up, guys? I had to interject here just for a sec. I recently recorded an entire unbox for one of my Patreon patrons, Gabriel Lewis. What happened was, after I recorded it, I had to leave immediately. I didn't get time to transfer it to my computer. When I recorded my Wildling review, my habit is to just delete everything that's on the card, which is what I did. And unfortunately, that recording was on the actual card. So I was kicking myself. So I contacted Gabriel. I was like, hey, there's no way I'm not showing off what you got me, because what he got me is not only amazing, but also very sentimental. So anyway, after the review, stay here so I can show you guys what Gabriel got me, because you won't want to miss it. Also, if you like this crow-inspired Drumdums shirt that I have designed by Woody Bowen, then you can go to the Drumdums store and you can get one. I'll post a card right here. He requested Hell Night, and it's kind of convenient because Hell Night is one that I've been wanting to watch and review for quite a while now. I'm a massive Linda Blair fan. I actually went to Spooky Empire a couple weeks ago. Met Linda Blair. She was a sweetheart. I actually had her sign my Exorcist 2 VHS, this right here, and it looks badass. Speaking of badass, let me go get that Hell Night Scream Factory Blu-ray. Hold on. Let's see, maybe if I use my Jedi mind powers, I can summon it from the heavens. There it is, right there. Check that out. That is the Scream Factory release of Hell Night. Love that freaking cover. That's gorgeous. That alone made me want to watch this movie, if I'm being honest. Besides the lovely Linda Blair in this. But let's get into the plot synopsis. This is one of those good old haunted house movies. You got this fraternity, and every new fraternity member, they have to go through this initiation. So they go into this haunted house, and what happened was there was like a suicide. There's this crazy family that lived in the house. The house is called Garth Manor. The father, Raymond Manor, I guess in the story, he killed the whole family. Except for this one child, Andrew Manor, who, according to the legend, saw the whole thing, and his body was never found. And so, you know, they have to stay in this house for the night, which is a fun premise too. I love these haunted house stories. One of them is like the Villisca murders in real life. You can go to the Villisca murder house, I believe it's in Iowa, and you can pay to actually stay through the night there. And that's just one of those houses where just a horrific crime happened back in like the early 1900s. But of course, once our group of young fraternity members get in there, then all this bad stuff starts happening. It gets really creepy.
It's coming from the 3rd floor.
But early on, we noticed that you know, some of the other frat members are playing jokes on them. There's even like speakers in the house. And I think there's another movie that does this too, you know, where Halloween Resurrection does this actually. That is a crappy movie, but yeah, they try to scare everybody into thinking that Myers is in the house when actually Freddy is actually posting all these like booby traps along the way. I can't believe I had to bring up Resurrection. Now I feel sad. What a horrible, horrible movie. But yeah, this is kind of the same thing, but this is a much better movie. Also, guys, I will be talking spoilers when it comes to this movie, because this is an older movie. So if you haven't seen it, you might want to check it out first. But yeah. Now, one thing I love about this movie is the atmosphere. It is nighttime throughout the whole thing until the very end. And when you're inside this creepy house, there's a lot to play with in terms of like lighting, and it just looks really spooky. It's a fun movie to watch, like on Halloween. It looks like this movie was set on Halloween because everybody's like dressed up too. But what's funny is you got this one couple, they're there to pretty much have sex the whole time, and the guy's got his shirt off pretty much most of the movie. And then you got Linda Blair and Peter Barton, and they're like the opposite of that couple, you know. Linda Blair is really kind of a shrinking violet throughout most of the movie until she finally, like, I guess gives it up to Peter Barton. But she is our final girl in this movie. Her and Peter Barton, they make it throughout most of the movie. But there are some really fun and interesting kills along the way. One thing I love about this movie is how different the killer is, because the killer is pretty much a Sasquatch. But I love the kills that this killer does in this movie. Like I said, he's like a Sasquatch. And as we know, Sasquatches are really strong. You know, this family, I guess the legend was that they were deformed or they were not all there in the head. And so the killer's got this thing with like putting his hand in his victims' faces before he kills them. And then he like, the first kill, he like twists the guy's head around, and it's hilarious. But I think my favorite kill is actually Peter Barton's, because he picks him up and just throws him out a window. You know, the guy made it all this way through the movie, and then he just throws him right out the window. It's really funny, and I actually liked it because Peter Barton looks like a freaking girl. What's funny is Peter Barton has more makeup on than Linda Blair in this movie. But Linda Blair is our final girl throughout the rest of the movie. And that last act is actually really fun, really energetic, full of intensity. It does everything that you would want a last act in a horror movie to do. And I have to mention the score in this movie. I don't always talk about scores if there's nothing there to really talk about, but this one's great because it felt like one of those old like 50s horror movies. And you'll know what I mean when you watch this movie. The score is just so refreshing. Actually, because in the 80s they had like a certain type of score. A lot of times they'd use a synth score, which is awesome. I love synth scores, don't get me wrong. But this was different. You know, this felt like one of those, you know, those 50s movies, like those Vincent Price movies. But the score, you know, had all the accents at like the perfect moment, which made the movie even creepier.
I killed him out by the pond. You should have seen him, man. He was like an actor.
Another standout scene for me in this is the fence scene when you got Peter Barton and Linda Blair. They get to the fence with the other guy who won't put his shirt on, and he's climbing over the fence, and the fence itself almost kills the guy, which is kind of funny. It's like the villain was the fence because it's got these pointy edges at the top, but eventually he gets off, goes to the cops, and the cops won't believe him, so he pretty much steals a gun and then comes back, but he's gone forever. Now, as far as any cons, these aren't like revolutionary characters or anything. For the most part, they're pretty forgettable. You're still gonna love Linda Blair in this though, and Peter Barton's pretty decent too. But this is one of those movies that seems like it was all but forgotten. I think I just heard about this movie like a year ago. So this will be filed in my Deep Cuts playlist, which I just created. And these are movies that you might not have heard of. You know, I think I'm gonna start throwing a lot of these older movies in that. Like The Evil's a good example. Most people haven't heard of The Evil. And that's a movie that I actually found out about through Ted Harrington from my Patreon page, one of my patrons. So yeah, I think that's really cool. But for a rating, I'm definitely giving this movie a purchase worthy because I'll definitely watch it again in October. I had a really good time with it. Linda Blair is always a bonus. Some great atmosphere, some really fun kills, a memorable killer. So there's a lot going on in Hell Night. Okay guys, now that we're done with the review, let's talk about what Gabriel Lewis got me. I want to read just the first part of this letter that he wrote me because this is really awesome. He says, "Hey Lee, here is the box of stuff that I wanted to send you. In it you will find stuff that I have loved since I was a young adult. I hope you enjoy them in your collection. Just wanted to explain a few things about why I sent these particular movies and items. Some you may already have. I just love all that you do and you're an amazing person. I just feel you will give these guys a special home and place in your heart in your collection. It means the world to me and I want you to have them. As far as the movie request goes, I really don't have one. My favorite is Halloween and you have done such a remarkable job with all the franchise. That makes me so happy. Any review you do is fun and I love it. So when you do the new Halloween review in October, which I can't wait for that, please have me in your heart when you review it. I definitely will, Gabriel. That would mean the world. Here are the reasons for my madness in sending these particular items. The posters. Believe it or not, I had these on my walls as a kid. That is freaking amazing. And I can't wait to show you these posters here in a second. I've collected quite a few, but these are my favorites. Since we are both Halloween fans, I wanted to have the official poster, and you may have it already. No, I don't have the official poster, so yes, that's awesome. And there's a clue of one of the posters he sent me. So anyway, let me show you guys real quick what Gabriel got me. First off, what you see right now is the posters he got me. He got me the poster for the original Halloween. He got me the poster for this movie that I just reviewed, Hell Night. And he also got me a poster for A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. I've already put these on my walls. The Friday the 13th is right up there. The other posters are behind the camera right now. Also, he got me all these movies, and in his letter, he actually went into detail why he got me these movies. A lot of these he had in his personal collection. He wanted to send them to me. First off, he got me this movie called Slasher Movies, which will be a great companion to my slasher movie book that I have. This is all about slasher movies. This is going to be a good read. It's by Peter Normanton. So looking forward to jumping into this. And real quickly, the movies he gave me. Some of these I do have, but the fact that he sent me these and they were in his personal collection, of course I'm going to keep them. This is awesome. Means a lot. So The Fog. I love The Fog. One of my favorite Carpenter movies. I recently reviewed Night of the Demons, and I was talking about how I'd love to see the remake, and he just sent me the remake out of the kindness of his heart. That was really nice. I was planning on buying this, but now I don't have to. Thank you very much, Gabriel. This is a movie, this was funny actually, one of my viewers for one of my reviews, he got mad because I haven't reviewed The Prowler yet. I'm not a true horror fan, you know, if I haven't reviewed or watched The Prowler yet. And maybe that's true. I don't know. No, it's not true. Of course, I'm a massive horror fan. You guys know that. But we as horror fans know that sometimes we can't see every single horror movie. So I honestly never even heard of The Prowler in the 80s, but I've heard a lot of buzz about it. I'm looking forward to finally watching and reviewing this one, thanks to Gabriel. This is brand new. This is Slumber Party Massacre. This is one that I've been meaning to buy at least the first two movies. So I'm looking forward to watching this one again. I saw this like way back in the 80s. Don't remember it at all. So that's going to be fun. Terror Train. You can't go wrong with Jamie Lee Curtis horror. And this one's interesting. It's a prom night DVD, but it's got the H2O Jamie Lee Curtis on the cover. But Prom Night's another one. It's probably one of my most requested reviews, at least for this last year. I'm constantly getting requested to do this movie, so this is going to be coming soon. Thank you guys for requesting it. And then, of course, he got me Hell Night, which I already have Hell Night back there, but you know what? Thank you so much, Gabriel. This is awesome. And I'll probably pass along my old copy to my daughter because she's such a massive horror fan too. And I'm trying to get her caught up in a lot of these older classics. So yeah, Hell Night, great. Oh, and also before I go, check out this painting. My wife just painted this last night. It's inspired a little bit by Sinister. Looks kind of like a female Bagul. But I just wanted to show this off because her paintings are just getting unreal. Like, she just gets better and better and better. So yeah, I just wanted you guys to see that. Isn't that awesome? So anyway, guys, I'm going to go back to the normal review because obviously this was recorded days after. But just want to say, Gabriel Lewis, thank you so much. Such a nice, kind gesture that you did, sending me all that great stuff. I really appreciate it, sir. And I apologize for deleting the original recording. So anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on Hell Night? Post down in the comments. Let me know. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. On Fridays, we do Free For All Fridays. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.